Hi everyone, this is Games and that with a different type of video. Usually do videos on computer games on the PC, but I thought I'd just do a different little list of games, different type of games. There's a bit of board gaming, which I love to do in spare time as well. Okay, so this video is going to be on A.S.L, Advanced Squad Leader, Hatten in Flames module. Let's check it out before I show you the other stuff. And there is the module, Hatten in Flames. Beautiful. In France, January 1945. An Advanced Squad Leader historical module. Basically, it's set in. Was set in late December 1944. The American 7th Army was over-exerted throughout the French provinces. Lorraine, where's that? I can't pronounce that. Lorraine, covering the units drawn northwest towards the vicious fighting around Bastogne. Yeah, this is basically a winter map. This is module 9. Been looking for, I've had this for a while now, and it's about time I cracked it open and get on the go. I was going to do the campaign, but I changed my mind and decided to do the scenarios what you get at the game. We'll get to the map in a minute, but there's a scenario. It's just scenario HF1, which is basically the first scenario in the game of Hatten in Flames. It's called Black Day in Hatten. And 1945, is it? Yeah. So we're going to do, I'm doing this campaign. And the victory is basically the Americans have got to control all the objectives by the end of game turn 6. And there's the German forces. And there's the Americans. The Germans do have some entering on turn 3. So they come in on turn 3. And as you can see on turn 1 and 2, it's darkest shade of grey. And what it is in the special rules, on turn 1 and 2, low visibility, it's bad weather, so it gives you the +1 hindrance applies on all range attacks during game turn and 1. So what that does is you always get a +1 on the dice roll. Yeah, only on turn 1 and turn 2. The Americans win the game. Game end by controlling the following hexes. So the Americans have got to basically take over these hexes, take over these buildings. The Germans are all in concealment. What concealment, if you're not used to A.S.L, what concealment means is the Americans don't know they're there. So if I know they're there because I'm playing solo, but if I shoot at these concealed targets, I only get half the firepower plus the TM modifiers, which basically is a building, which is a stone building, will be +3 added on the dice roll, plus half firepower, so it's going to be harder to hit the targets, hit the enemy. Americans have got 3 tanks as well with a tank leader, which is good. This is the type of tank they've got in this scenario, if I can focus in. The M18. It's only got one machine gun. It's got a fast turret though. It's got a weak hull and a weak rear and sides as well. It's quite a weak tank really, but I think the firepower is not bad on it, but it can still do damage. Germans are bringing in a gun with them, an infantry gun. 75 is quite powerful. There it is, the tanks with the Americans. Germans have got spare weapons as well. Light machine guns, satchel charges, medium machine gun. So they have got firepower. So yeah, what I'm up to is I've done what it says here in the rules. Germans settle first, Americans move first. So on turn 1 I've already done it. I played the Americans, they've moved up. Now I'm on to turn 1 with the Germans, and it's the German moving phase. Let's get that token right there. So what I want to do is show you what the Germans, I'm going to do with the Germans. Let's check out what the Germans are going to do. Well, what I'm going to try and do before I play turn 1. The plan basically is the Germans here are all took over. Well, they all own these objectives. The Americans are coming in. What? Because it's a 6-turn game, I think it's quite a big game. And there's still these objectives here to take over. So what I'm thinking of doing is, on the German side, is trying to keep the concealments. And to lose concealment, they've got to be in line of sight of the Americans, and they lose the concealment if they got line of sight, or if they move out into an open hex, they lose concealment. So it's going to be better if they can keep their concealment if they can. So the plan is, before the Americans, is give these up to the Americans, these objectives. Let the Americans take over these. Still give a bit of a fight, because some of them won't be able to move back. But the ones who want to move back are going to be round about this area here. This is my plan anyway. I want to move these back on the German turn, keep them in the buildings if I can, and get a bit of an urban battle going on here with the Germans. And as I reminded you before, on turn 3 the Germans are going to get reinforcements anyway, so that's going to help the Germans out. But I believe the Germans can. How many objectives is that? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if I give up the Americans have got to take over all the objectives. So if I give them 1, 2, 3, they've still got 4 to get here. They've still got to get them 4. So if I push them back into these buildings and keep their concealment, I think the Germans can give them a fight if they back off into these buildings here. I'm going to keep a couple of them here to sort of balance, slow them down if I can, but I want to push them back, give these ones up, if I have to, give them up to the Americans. But these 4 are the main ones for the Germans to try and control until the end of turn 6. So that's my plan for this scenario. As I said, they've got 3 tanks, they've got mortars, the Americans. Support weapons. Germans have got a lot of support weapons, light machine guns, medium machine guns. Plus the Americans have. They've got bazookas, mortars, medium machine guns. He's carrying the mortar. I think it's, yeah. Oh no, he's got a medium machine gun. And I'll show you how they work. I think it's this team, isn't it? What's it saying? Yeah, there it is. It's got a bazooka team, but there's a rule about firing it in a building. Got to take a black blast. You got to roll on. I think you got to go on a different on the chart. I think the chart's got a black blast. Let me check here. Well, see, it says back blast. I think you've got to go off this. You've been in a building. This one, this column. Black blast. You've been in a building. You don't have to, but it's a good chance of you getting on a roll of a dice. There's a good chance of getting injured or casualties if you don't use that. It's up to you. I've got to read more on it, so I do know about it, but I'm gonna relearn it. Black blast. But some tanks are in motion here. I'll go through that later on. What that means. Tanks. I've got smoke, and yeah, I've got a choice to roll for AP, which you don't need anyway because GMs haven't got no armour. So, but they can cause fires and rubble on these buildings as well. You get rubble tokens, but I'm going to go through that while the game goes on. But that's the plan anyway. So that's where we're up to. So let's get cracking on the GM's turn, so you can do the movement phase of turn 2. No, turn 1 it is. Turn 1 of the GM movement phase. So let's have a quick look here. The gun is going to stay there. I'm going to start from right to left. Okay. Right, okay, so I'm going to pull these back first. This column, got a leader with them. The orchards in this game of them, they are out of season obviously, so all they do is give basically they don't spoil line of sight because they're out of season, but they do give a hindrance if you're shooting through them. So I'm going to move these, try and keep concealment, and 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I am actually going to move them into a location. And all this is going to be is light machine gun doesn't really give them any problems there on movement. So I'm going to go 1, 2, and it costs 2 to get to a building. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're going to move back. With a leader. That's a location. And location now. These ones can try and keep concealment now. One of these. This is a full squad. Okay, I'm going to try and keep that concealment. I'm not going to use them. I will use them tweezers. So I'm going to go 1. Not in line of sight. And there. 2, 3. 3. Sorry, 1, 2, 3. And they keep the concealment, which is good. Building here. They're going to go 1, 2 out of the line of sight because you've just crossed over to a building. Keeping concealment. It's going to be 1, 2, 3. Have you got a leader? I hope so. No. Nail carrying a Saxel charge, which is only 1 pp. It's quite light, so it doesn't affect them. So they're gonna have to go to do what I want to do. They're gonna have to go to a special move called CX, which is like double timing. So they're gonna go double timing. So that gives them, that makes their 4 movements into 6. So they're gonna go here, line of sight, out of line of sight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1. No, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But they've had to do CSX double timing. That affects shooting as well, and shooting against as well. So it goes in both favours. They've double timed out of there. And this one here, what am I holding here? I'm using a medium machine gun, which is 3 pp. It's quite heavy. So we'll check out the movements on the charts. Let's get a chart out just to show you the movements. As I said, the medium machine gun is at 3 pp. Multi-man with 3 pp alone is 4 movements. CSX is 5. Decent. So if I can make him double time, I can get 5 movements. But I'm only going to do 4 if I can. Don't really want a CSX on him. So you go 1, 1, 2, 3. We'll get behind the wall, it'll be good. Get wall advantage. So it'll be 1. Out of line of sight. Buildings are covering me. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll CSX. So it's more than that actually, isn't it? It's across a wall. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, the extra ones across the wall. So we have to CSX. So we have to do double timing as well. Put it there before I move. So they double timed into here. What happens there though, it will lose the concealment because it's not concealed. But it will be getting wall advantage. And I will go through that later on. So they moved out of there. See what we got here. So you can keep the concealment of these. I've got a squad with a PSK, basically a Panzer, not a Panzer Bast. I've got a Panzer, right, 2 squads there, two full squads, with one with a rear launcher. Panzer check, sorry, I'll be more precise. So they're going to go and tanking concealment. They're going to go 1, 2. Ooh. Oh, heavier than Panzer. Only 1, so it doesn't affect it. 1, 2, 3, 4. So here, can go here, the Germans. 1, 2, 3, 4 here. So they will keep concealment because they're in a concealed building. Oh, now. Don't want to fire that launcher in the building though. They backed off now. All the Germans are backing off. The gun's going to stay there. It's got all this road here if this tank comes. These tanks, they've got troops behind the tank for cover. So you can attack them. What can these do? What have these got? Full squad, light machine gun, and a leader. So they can move 6. They can move 6, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And keep concealment as well, because out of line of sight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Keeping the concealment, but giving up one of the objectives. Right, what have we got here? Just another squad, highly trained elite team squad. Now, in 1945, which is a scenario is getting played, every unit, German unit, has got a chance of possessing a Panzerfaust. But you've got to do like a Panzerfaust check. 1 to 3 on a dice roll. 1 to 3. 1 to 3. They possess a Panzerfaust. So I'll be doing that whenever I need to check. So every unit, if they don't have the Panzerfaust, they don't have it the rest of the game as well. Well, the rest of the scenario. So these are going to go here. 1, 2, and just back off there. Get away from that tank. 1, 2, and that is it. No leader with them, but they will keep concealment because they just not in line of sight. They just crossed over straight ahead, didn't go into open ground. I know they're in line of sight to the tank, but by crossing, not going into open ground, did lose the concealment. So if you go straight into the building, to keep the concealment. And that's good news of that. Now these are big problem, these. Oh shit. Excuse my language. This is a squad with a light machine gun and a big leader as well. He's got a -1 on. So they can move 6. But they're in concealment already. Human spotted. They put that Panzerfaust against this tank. I've decided, because it's all open ground around them, so they'd lose the concealment, and I think they'd go in line, and they're going to stay where they are and fucking hold fast. They've got a light machine gun there, they've got a leader with them. When they have to, they'll most probably fire on this next advanced fire phase. On the next fire phase, they might shoot at these or at them behind the tank. I've got to decide yet. But they will, as soon as they fire, is lose the concealment, alright? And then that's it, innit? They're spotted and they're up against the tank, because the tank can shoot in there. This tank could shoot in there. There's 2 tanks. I'll move this a bit. See a tank there. It's in motion and all already, and it's already pointing that direction. Doesn't know anyone's there, but it's pointing that direction. It's in motion now. That goes against shape of fire in motion. I'll go through that again. But so these are going to hold, and that is it. That is the German movement phase. No dice had to be rolled on turn 1. So this is, and so it'll be now the defensive fire phase. So what that is, defensive fire phase is, see, there's different parts of defensive fire phase. While they're moving, the Germans, the Americans can't fire on them, but as you've seen then, they didn't have line of sight on them, so you've got to have line of sight, and it ain't worth firing anyway on turn 1 or turn 2, as I said before, because low visibility. So But in this stage now, defensive fire phase, defender may fire on moving attacker units only. We've just done that, remove, no one fired. Well, now it's the proper defensive fire phase. Defender may fire any unfired units at full firepower, marked with final fire counter. So, do I want to fire with anyone at full power? No, I can fire this tank if I wanted to. Yeah. So let me have a think about this and I'll get back to you.